Hey man, I love that dude. Family to me. This is the seventh time that I've been on Winter Jam, which is absolutely insane. And tonight they asked me to come out here and share a bit of my testimony, who I am, where I'm from. And I had a chance to do that, so I'm stoked to be able to do that. Now I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Texas. All right, I mean in the middle of nowhere, and we were a family that didn't have a lot. We were very, very humble. Well, humble. We were broke. Is what we were. Right? We had nothing in this world. And I remember that I wore hand-me-down clothes every day of my life, right? And my mom, she worked 3 jobs to figure out how to take care of us as a family, which left me with a perspective that's kind of unique to me, I felt like. The truth was that once we got out of that kind of poverty phase of our life, I was so grateful, man. It felt like it scarred me. I was running the other way. I never wanted to see anything like it ever again in my life, right? Which leads me to a question I want to ask you guys. There's a commercial that comes on TV from time to time. I want to see if you guys see it. And if you're watching TV, clicking channels, everything's fine, great night. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, sad music starts to play. You know what I'm talking? Right after that, of course, there's the sad photo. And finally, the heart-wrenching story of a child from a distant land that just needs your help. Anybody ever seen this commercial? Raise your hand, please. All right, cool. I want to be can I be honest with you guys tonight? Is that all right? In fact, hey, cut the stuff music, son. Am I the only person that sees these commercials from time to time? Like, Lord have mercy, I'm sick and tired of seeing these commercials. I just want to watch my TV show. Am I the only person like that in here? No? Okay, praise God. I'm not the only unchristian person in Winter Jam. All right. 3 reasons why these commercials have always driven me crazy. Number 1, they're always talking about a tiny amount of money. They're sending it around the world. Change a child's life forever. Great concept, love that idea. The problem is, $1 can't buy you nothing. In America, so how's it going to go around the world and change a child's life? It never made any sense. And number 2, I grew up in poverty. I ain't got to see it on the other side of the world to understand what this looked like, man. I'm good, you know. And then finally, number 3, and this might be being too honest, but I'm just going to be real. Last time I checked, we got a lot of problems right here in the United States of America, and I'm going to take a look at first. But what about people on the other side of the world? And that's just my perspective. I guess my father always told me, he said, son, if you can't take care of your own family, you can't take care of somebody else too. And that's the way I felt my whole life. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, I don't know. It's the way I felt my whole life until my wife kicked me on the airplane I did not want to get on. And I saw the house that changed my life forever. It was an 8x8 box made out of sheet metal, rock, and wood. Rope tied it off to a tree so when it rained, it wouldn't cave in. I remember walking up this place and immediately recognizing that it was half the size of the bedroom that I complained about my whole life. And it wasn't just a room for one person. No, an entire family lived in that 8x8 box. Floors? No. They had mud for floors. And to be completely honest with you, it looked a lot like the place where we used to keep the cattle feed on my grandpa's farm back home in Texas. When they call that a house, it seems like a stretch of the word house. I remember there's a small boy in the front yard, he's shoeless, he's kicking around a soccer ball made out of plastic bags, all duct taped together. Right now, I love kids. Kids are my thing, I love them. I have a couple kids myself, but I remember there was a rock on the right-hand side of this house. So I went and sat down, like so, hey, what's up? All right, this bump, bring it. Nice. Anyway, kid was not scared at all, not even a little bit. Kid comes running up, sits right next to me. Bam! Like, what's up? You ain't scared. And then he hit me. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even know if he speaks my language. How to start this conversation? I thought for a second, I said, hey, tell me something. What's your name? And he looked up at me and he said, my name is Michael. But if I'm being honest, I didn't see his face when he said his name. See, I saw the face of my own son. Same age as him. And all the hopes and dreams that I had for my boy started running through my head. So I said, simple things, like, you know, he would graduate maybe from high school and have a chance to go off to college. Maybe get a degree. I guess if I'm being honest, my son would just be okay. You know? And I realized in that moment that the kid I'm sitting next to ain't got a chance at half the hopes and dreams that my son has, not growing up like this. And the kids that I'd always changed the channel on my whole life on TV finally became real. Hit my heart like a ton of bricks as I sat next to my new friend, little Michael. Now about that time, Michael's mom came walking up through the fields, and I remember I was like, hey, how are you? my name is Jason, your son's a rock star. I wonder, can I ask you a few questions about your life? Would that be okay? She said, sure, ask anything you want. I said, okay, ma'am. What do you normally feed little Michael? She said, sometimes we get special things, but for the most part around here, we eat beans and water 3 times a day. Wait a minute. Are you serious right now? Beans and water 3 times. Whoa, okay. Well, what about school? He's got to be excited about school, right? He's getting a little bit older. He's got to be excited to have the opportunity to go off to school here soon, right? Oh, no, Jason, school costs 17 American dollars a year, and we don't have it. I'm thinking $17, I'll give you the money right now. It's nothing to me. $17 is, I'll give you the money. It's not a problem. But, ma'am, if he's not going to go to school, I mean, what's the plan for his life? I mean, do you have a plan for your son? She said, oh, to be honest with you, I'm just kind of hoping for the best. That's a plan. Hoping for the best. Now, I'm the son of a military man. My father was a drill sergeant in the Marines. There is no crying in our house, none at all, right? But there I am. I'm in the middle of the jungle, standing next to a lady I just met. And I'm realizing for the first time in my life that I have never known poverty, not a day of my life. Never known poverty, not a day of my life. You know how I know? Because the thing that I used to get so mad about, this is what I get mad about all the time, were these shoes. Nike Air Jordans. My friends all got them, I didn't. So that made me poor, right? The clothes that I wear, the shoes that I wear, maybe this kid's eating beans and water 3 times a day, and I'm worried about shoes. Wow. I remember I turned my back to kind of compose myself, and that's when she saved me. She said, wait a second, Jason. I told you all that about our past because we have a different future. I said, ma'am, I don't understand what you mean. She said, Jason, you have to understand where we've been to understand where we are. I said, well, where are you? She said, Jason, several years ago we found out that our son, Michael, he actually got sponsored by somebody in America who decided to speak for him, and they decided to pay his tuition to school. So guess what? My son does now get to go to school, but he's not just going to any school. My son's going to get to attend the only school in the entire jungle that has computers in it. And he's going to learn about technology and have the opportunity to go live a life completely different from his father and I. We're so excited. I was like, man, that's amazing. She said, that's not the coolest part. I said, okay, well, what's the coolest part? She said, Jason, when my son got sponsored, they came in and gave us, wait for this, 7.5 acres of land. They gave us 700 pineapple plants, and today we own our own pineapple farm. Would you like to come? We don't even live here anymore. You want to come see it? I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to have to see that right now. I remember I started walking back through the woods, and suddenly there was a clearing, and there it was, 7.5 acres, 700 pineapple plants, and the worst sunglasses that God's ever made, and my mind was blown. How is this possible? Kid gets sponsored 7.5 acres? I mean, I don't even understand. I don't, that doesn't make no sense. I mean, I didn't even know that pineapples grow out of the ground. I hate pineapple. About that time, her husband, he came walking up through the woods, and he goes, hey, what do you think about my pineapple farm? I'm like, I ain't never seen one. It's kind of nice. He says, do you know what I do with my pineapples? I said, I ain't got no clue, but what do you do? He said, Jason, I send my pineapples to America. You may even eat one of my pineapples. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. I ain't never ate one though. I straight up hate pineapple, y'all. Except for when it's on pizza. It's okay then. But there I was, y'all. There I was. For hours walking around that man's farm, talking to God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know anything. I was standing in the middle of a miracle, and I could not deny it. You see, my problem was that $1, how's it going to go around the world, change a child's life? It never made sense to me, right? Let's be honest. Because $1 can't buy anything for us here in America. Somebody say, amen, brother. That's right, but if you take the same dollar and you send it to the currency exchange to the third world country, well, that dollar grows exponentially, and all of a sudden that dollar that can't buy anything here guarantees a child food, water, medical supplies, puts a roof over their head, guarantees their education, and guarantees the one thing that changes everything in anybody's life that it intersects. Yours and mine included. And that is the hope of Jesus Christ. And there's no comparison. Like somebody clap your hands. There's no